Welcome back, the European Ultimate Championship finals here in Caorle, Venice. I am Hannah Penderbury, currently solo in my comms booth. We have Bristol women versus East Bloc of the Czech Republic. Of course, Bristol coming from the UK. It's the first round of pool play for these two nations. East Bloc, normally the bridesmaid coming out of the Czech Republic, to of course 3SB, an average age of under 20 if sources are to be believed. So coming up against some of the creme de la creme of the UK women's side, of course quite experienced at this level. First European Championship for East Bloc versus of course Bristol, who went to Worlds, didn't have quite the campaign they wanted, so going to see if they can snag themselves some silverware or perhaps some gold here at this European Championship finals event. I believe it would be their first. Wedge on the far side, the Canadian for Bristol, giving and going. Lodge, disc in hand. And of course Hannah Randall's there, one of the less familiar faces to the roster of Bristol women. Kantorovich with the high grab and a big arcing backhand into the path of Molly Wedge, and that's the first stat on the board. A nice clean hold, plenty of passes for Bristol women, but it will come off very nicely. So another look at that high grab from Molly Wedge, making it look all too easy. So a nice start to the game. Offensive hold. And you see the coach there just jogging off the pitch, Ben Hall, who of course is alongside Bristol, and they were in Cincinnati but a few weeks ago. But East Bloc now on the attack. Out of that nice inside flick. Oh, it just bobbles off their hands though. Tutsta unable to put the gloves around that one, and an easy opportunity here. Hocking back to Durbin. Nice flick forward. Oh, just a little bit of an overshot though. That's Fliff's man trying to chase that one down. A bit too much spice from Taylor. I take that back. I think that's Lyndon Chang, wearing the 52. So, redemption opportunity for East Bloc. Starting out with a bit of a clustery horizontal offensive look. Oh, but again, too much pace on these discs, and another one out of Tusta's hands, just knees it out of her own possession. Hocking, sitting and looking. Sits it out, and it's a nice high grab, pulling it in for a second Bristol score, and that's the break. So an easy start in this game for Bristol women. May well be just a case of rolling this one out, unless of course East Block can pull themselves together. Very young team coming out of the Czech scene. We did mention in the opener, of course, the big name coming out of that region is of course 3SB, who are also present at this tournament. But I love the feisty shirts. They've got sort of like a wolf pattern going on for East Block, so hopefully they can sink their teeth into this game. It's a big flick to get us out of the blocks, though. That is a nicely weighted disc, but it's just going to be a little bit too far. And a turnover straight out of the bat. Durbin bringing it back in. Deladzova unable to be found, but playing a nice mark. Morris. Back to Durbin. Bit of a stoppage. Just going to come back in with no stall. Oh, a lovely little inside shot to Walcock. But this is much better defence from East Block, making them work a bit harder. Sarah Jeffries now, a little bit of a wobble on the low release flick, but that's a lovely deep shot going to be taken. But excellent block. Nice stuff from Vavrova. And we are joined by the presence, a bit of a sweaty, a bit of an out of breath Sean Colford, but he's now arrived. Welcome, Sean.
Well, it's a long venue, I'll put it that way.
It's a whole airstrip, so it is quite indeed a bit of a, you're far away if you're on the far fields here, and that's a nice bit of offense here for East Block. Can they put their first on the board? No, just a little bit of a fingertips in the mixer for Sarah Jeffrey.
It's a really good block. It looks so close to the catch there. Looked like she was out of the play entirely, so really good to keep running and get in there and just knock it away from the receiver.
Yeah, a little bit too much hang again on the deep shot to Hutsova. A lot of hang on that one from Roskowska to Orcock. Man now. Oh, but a bit of confusion there. Durbin is going to call the foul. So she got a little bit too much of Alena Beladzova.
Looked a little uncertain on the disc there. Not sure. Is the foul coming back up the line here? Yeah, there's a shoulder in there a little bit, but it looks like it's been withdrawn.
Oh, that could be beautiful. Doesn't make a play on it, though. We missed it because we were having a look at the reset, but that was a nicely weighted, just a little bit too early. But this, of course, young team from the Czech Republic, or Czechia.
Yeah, it was a good option, just too much sauce on that one.
But of course, this very early stages of the game and early stages of this 4-day-long tournament. We are expecting, you know, based on seeding, Bristol to do a little bit better in this match. Moskowski looking around for options, finds Durbin. Oh, nearly manages to come from the run block off Jang. Man pops it back. Jinking up line with a hot coverage from Lipsy. Lots of giving and going and resetting the disc, but not much moving through. Now a good lateral pass to Jeffrey. Moskowski back to Durbin. Morris. Bristol looking very comfortable and confident though, having to throw lots of passes, but doesn't feel that difficult. Oh, but Jeffrey goes for an ambitious one, and that's down.
I was going to add another C. They look very calm as well. Confident, comfortable, and calm. They were working it really nicely. Look, they had plenty of time to move it, and then just a slight miscue on that throw. And it looks as though we have a timeout call from East Block, so everyone can reset. It's been a long point.
It certainly has.
And yeah, I think both teams are they're not making bad choices here. It's just slightly struggling. The wind's picked up a little bit in the last little bit, so.
I don't know, that last low inside shot from Jeffrey was a very difficult option to execute.
It was.
And they'd been not really lost for options up until that point, perhaps just getting a bit too ambitious.
Could be, because like you say, they weren't lost for options. They were able to move it around very easily. The pressure on the dumps was there, but they were able to get out onto the break side. They were able to get those backward passes and then get another 5 yards straight off it. They were working the field nice and easily. It looked like Kinga Raskowska was playing really well, but just one miscue, and they have to get it back off East Block, who look athletic. They're certainly troubling them.
Well, to catch you up a little bit, Sean, because you were trotting over to this field when it started.
I was.
And yeah, it was sort of two points on the bounce of Bristol women. Nice and quick and clean holds. This is the first time we've really seen that sort of tussle start to develop.
Yeah, I was over watching Ranelagh and Coos, which has started out very aggressively. And Iceni playing against, I can't remember who they were playing against, but Swing to Hell. Very long first point. Swing to Hell. They swing it. They move it around a lot around the back. So long first point there as well.
That's an interesting name.
Swing to Hell. No, I love it. It's very unusual, but I enjoy how it incorporates Frisbee terminology and then something enormously aggressive. You put those two things together, and it's just a very interesting name. Never heard one like it. So, but yeah, no, true to the name, they were moving it around the back quite a lot. So it sounds like it's been a roughly similar game in the sense that the points have been quite long. Like I say, the wind has definitely picked up over the last half an hour or so. It looks like there's a little storm over in the distance over there. So the conditions likely to get a little bit more difficult before they get any easier. The weather forecast certainly seems to indicate that for the weekend.
I do have to apologise. I said that Jessie Tang was Lyndon Chang earlier because she wasn't correct on our roster sheet, but the number 52 is indeed Jessie Tang of Sixers fame. I knew I recognised that woman. But at the moment, it's East Block trying to put it all together. Nice pass around the back. Is it going to be the first goal for East Block? Oh, it's a nice layout, and that is how you do it. Hopefully that'll put a little bit of spark of energy back into East Block's play, because they looked for a minute like they were going to be down and out for the count entirely in this game. Yeah,
that's the second time they've tried a shot into that far side. The first one was a little bit too much, and this one looked, to be honest, like it was going to be a bit too much, but that is a really good layout catch in the corner of the end zone. Put themselves on the board. I think they deserved it for the intensity and the running they were putting into that point. You can see that they're a good team and they have good cohesion, and that is a really good catch going down to the ground for it. Concentrating all the way through.
Well, we knew that East Block were going to be a young potential up-and-comer for the future, perhaps not hitting their stride, but this is first appearance at the European Championships. Of course, the women's division, a bit of a curious one. It was just if you want to come play, come play. The lack of qualification events for this tournament for the women's side is a little bit frustrating, I think, for fans of Women's Ultimate, but of course it does create that environment where you do get these younger teams coming out and getting that extremely valuable big pitch experience.
Yeah, East Block, Frisbee from France, a very similar situation. Frisbee have, I think, 8 or 9 of the French under-20s team that won a silver medal at JJUC recently, 3 World Games players. East Block have got a lot of players under 20 with the experience they're going to get from this tournament, both those teams. It's going to improve them so much, it's going to help them so much. So it's good for the development terms, but I think you're right in terms of how it went from here. It was a little frustrating in the build-up.
It's a big shot from Caorle Link, finding Kantorovic on the goal line. This is like a knife through butter almost with this offense, but now East Block will hope to apply some more pressure as we get to the red zone. But it's an easy up-line cut. Link going and pulling a rare goal to add to her stats tally.
Yeah, she got free in the dump space a little late for Kantorovic, who was looking upfield, but Link was able to shake loose of her mark again upfield. Nice easy goal, like you said, Hannah. That was pretty much knife through butter. That was very, very quick, nice movement from Bristol. East Block struggling to contain them. That could be the story for the game. East Block trying to work different things to try and slow that Bristol offense down.
So nice, smooth stuff for the GB Women's Club side.
You can see Kantarovic's turn away just as Caorle Link goes back to get free. But then Caorle, with the runway of being free backwards, just speeds up past the mark and is able to get nice and open on that front corner.
And you can hardly bench Flik. I mean, the thing is with Link, you know that she's going to be so devastating with the disc in hand. So if you're going to give her anything on a high stall, it's probably going to be that up line.
Yeah.
You know, you're in the vicinity. It's a small channel, but well taken.
Yeah, it was. It was. And she's smart enough to keep moving and keep finding the space.
So, of course, Bristol will be having their sights set on some medals at this championship event, and perhaps in contrast to East Block, who are just happy to be here and will show what they can do. So we see Hocking going in for a bit of a late bid, but a clean one. Stolova looking around for options. It's a nice swing pass. Well run down, good body position and attack from Varvrova. Giving and going, changing the angle of attack. Just a little chat on the mark. Taylor.
Is it a pick downfield? Is that what the stoppage is?
You know what? I'm not entirely sure. And the lack of hand signals isn't helping us much either.
People repositioning. I assume it's a pick.
Good communication from the Bristol sideline, trying to help out their teammates on defence. Oh, that's a nice inside shot, giving and going up this far side, and oh, that's a goal for days. It's a beautiful piece of work, and that is now putting a bit more energy again into this East Block offence.
That was a really good inside flick to the front of the stack there, and once they got it into the front of the stack, it's one of those quasi breaks because the mark is on the far side. Even though it's in the middle of the pitch, and they were able to take advantage of that break side movement all the way down the field. You see here, it's this inside flick that opens up the whole field, and they're able to just continue down that break side. Really good movement, excellent final throw. The first one was too far, the second one we had to get a layout for, and that one is nice, easy clap catch. Looks like they found their range.
Indeed, settling the nerves. Perhaps for some of the East Block players, this will be their first experience of being live streamed under the hot studio lights. Well, I say that. We have at least, for now, remained rain and thunder lightning free. We've had some rolling grumbles from sort of the far west side of the field complex here. Sort of, you know, keeping things interesting. We were forecast some pretty hairy conditions, but it's just a nice thrower's wind right now.
Yeah, it's supposed to be rainy all weekend, but talking to some people who've been here for a long time, the forecast has said that it's supposed to be raining all week, and up to this point it hasn't been too bad, so fingers crossed.
Lodge getting us underway to Link and Randalls, the former GB Juniors teammates, coming a bit unstuck. There's a strip call from Link.
Some discussion here. I think it's probably on the wrong side of the field for us to get a great angle on it. Well, it does look like it was still in our hand, to be honest.
I don't know. I don't think we can tell really anything from the tape because I think the view was being body blocked by Carlos Torso. But we'll allow the players on the field, of course, who did have much better views and opinions of what's going on to chat it out.
There it goes, contested, so it stays with Caorle.
But nice to see the momentum starting to build from East Block, getting all up in the business on D. Odikcheva, the one trying to get her palm to top the disc away. So, Lodge across to Wedge. Oh, it's a fiery flick for sure, and dead on target into the chest of Natalie Oldfield.
That is really good. That was a really, really good throw. Just spotting Oldfield with a bit of space in the back of the end zone, just kind of flipping it over everybody. That was a really, really difficult throw to execute because you're putting quite a lot of blade on that. So the wind really affects it, but it's, I suppose the wind doesn't affect it when you're Molly Wedge.
She is a bit of a legend, let's be honest.
Yeah. Great throw.
Burst onto the UK scene when she came across and started playing for Bristol, I believe, 2 seasons ago. It might be 3 by now. I don't know, it's difficult to tell with all of this pandemic pause.
Yeah, just come back from America playing with Sixers over there.
And of course, Jessie Sang of Sixers coming and playing with Bristol women.
Not bad when you can send one of your best players away and they come back with a player good enough to play for one of the top American teams.
Absolutely, and I believe Sang might have played some party tournament action in the European scene recently. We'll confirm that fact a bit.
Do you reckon we could do that, Hannah? Send one of our Herd Masters teammates over to America and see if they can come back with Dylan Freechild or something, Jimmy Mickle?
Well, I mean, we do play mixed, so there's every opportunity to do that. Depends who you send, Sean.
Who are we sending? Probably you rather than me. I think that's a good idea.
Well, it's a big put again coming out of East Blocks. Oh, and a nice dish in for the goal. That is more like it. We might have a real game on our hands, but there seems to be a pit call on the field.
It's unfortunate because that was a really, really good hook right out in front, and good patience when she caught it on the front of the end zone as well. I'm not sure where it's coming back to here. Like
and having checked my facts, Sean, indeed, Jessie Sang went and played Kopatanga.
Ah, right, okay.
So hanging around on the European scene for a little bit. Maybe she'll stay. You know, wouldn't be dismayed to see that happen.
Yeah, you can see the person who was marking the one that caught the disc is King Roskowska has called the pick. So we get an action replay, and it's going to be the same throw to a different receiver this time. Just as good, though. Was it over the goal line? That looked extremely close. It looks like it's been called not in.
But again, the easy pop afterwards. Well, it happened exactly as they drew it out a second time there, Sean.
It did. I love the confidence of it. It worked once, but you know what? We're just going to throw exactly the same thing again, and like you said, to a different receiver. But clearly East Block are confident in their long game, to have the confidence to put it out there twice, to challenge the deep, and really good patience both times that they were able to not throw directly into defenders. They were able to wait for a nice open pass and take it. Yeah, East Block certainly look like they're in this game to me.
Well, just trailing the one break, of course, because Bristol women came out on offense to start us off. And this is much better stuff from the women of the Czech Republic.
It is. I think they still need to find a way to really challenge this Bristol offense. We haven't seen Bristol really have to work enormously hard so far to slot in their O points. But they've certainly got the capability to challenge them offensively, and with that kind of athleticism and throwing ability, you'd think that as soon as they are able to work out how to get turns off Bristol, they have a good chance of converting them.
Although it will be interesting to see as we talk about tactical adjustments, what they can do if that A game, that's, you know, big huck offense gets shut down. But of course, the coach for East Block, Thomas Weisheidel, the actual women's senior national coach, will have some adjustments, I'm sure, as we see another put to Molly Wedge off the palm of Carla Link. That connection so favoured by Bristol, and an easy pop into Oldfield, who collects another goal.
Yeah. So same names again, but it's very difficult to go wrong in a Carla Link to Molly Wedge play. Obviously, Carla Link getting free in the handler space here. Molly was free downfield. Nice continuation from there. But as we said, East Block, it's difficult when the players are this good. Obviously, Molly Wedge and Carla Link both played at the World Games for Great Britain. They're both very, very talented players, and it's difficult for any team to be able to work out how to slow them down, much less shut them down. But this is obviously the challenge that East Block are going to have to come to grips with, and so far it has been a tough one for them.
Absolutely, but we are in a section of trading at the moment. It's, you know, sort of, you know, finding the rhythm of each other, making those adjustments as the game develops. And now Oldfield, bit of a goal machine. We talk about Wedge and Link and their sort of connection together, but she always just seems to find exactly the perfect pocket of the end zone to score a goal.
Yeah, was playing D-line last year and was marking kind of important people and was playing really, really well, and has been, as you say, been an excellent downfield option for Bristol so far this season.
So Hadova across to Stolova. No mark whatsoever, so no pressure on. Ooh, Jeffrey trying to come through for a block. Feeling hungry this fine Italian afternoon. Nice dishing and going. This is good movement from East Block. As we see a little a flash of lightning and the flash cut across the front of the end zone for the goal.
Really, really good offense there, and the movement of, and I apologise in advance, of Truster, moving it from the far side and then coming all the way across for the continuation cut. She's getting the disc in really dangerous positions and is being really, really calm when she gets there. It's really easy when you get close to the end zone to kind of rush or take an option that's not quite there. She's doing all the right things, cutting into all the right spaces. Been very impressive so far in this game.
Yeah, it's just that I was told ahead of the game that we wouldn't have the opportunity to say her name, certainly not her full name, because of how dynamic and rapid she is on the pitch and really loves those give-go opportunities.
Yeah, we've seen that for sure. Very quick in those short spaces. Look at that, straight across the front of her mark. Really, really difficult to live with when so quick in short spaces.
It's almost like she didn't actually need to put in sort of the stab turn in the first place. She could have just run directly to the open side.
Yeah, change the direction is really, really impressive.
So a clean hold for East Block as we advance towards the end of this first half. But can they do something interesting now to try and stifle Bristol women, or at least cause them perhaps a couple of issues? Because at the moment, it's like they're sat on Santa's lap and getting everything they want from their Christmas list. Link centre field with Wedge under. Kantorowicz was developing a cut but didn't like the look of it. Nice body hold from Link. Going to absolutely launch a rocket for Wedge. Nobody anywhere near her and an easy collection once again.
I think that was a much more encouraging point for East Block though. Stupkova really put some good marking on Link in the handler space, made her take a couple of cuts. Hannah Randalls had to clear all the way through. Molly Wedge was looking for something upfield and had to come back. They're challenging them, they're making them take different things, pushing them onto their second attentions, and that's certainly what they were struggling to do early on. So even though that was a clean hold, you know, not very many passes to get there, and it was a really good deep throw for Molly Wedge, who caught it kind of uncontested. Look how close Stupkova get to there. This is a encouraging point, I think, for East Block.
Oh, absolutely. The only thing that I suppose I would, if I were coaching, was the dismay, is just how absolutely ruthlessly wide open Molly Wedge was afterwards.
Yeah.
Probably a good 45 seconds of good, tight, intense D, causing Bristol issues, and then just sort of just lost control.
I was looking at the disc rather than upfield, but Molly obviously has dumped it back. Is taken off. I wonder whether the person's just tried to come all the way around to stop that dump throw and then nice easy runway. But either way, as I say, encouraging point. Let's see how much more they can dial that pressure up.
Oh, they're going to watch it back in post as Durbin distributes the next pull. This is good centering movement. Flusta to Vavrova. Flusta is still available, but hanging around, doesn't like the look of it. Expanding across. Lots of movement to try and get the mark of taking around. Oh, that's a proper crackle of lightning in the background. I'm not sure if it's catching on your cameras, but we may well see this one put on ice for a bit. High pop across, or if that had a little bit more pace on it, that would have been wide open for a breakside goal. It's an inside backhand. Oh, and a beautiful sitting disc in to half of Alena Dolezavova. Sorry, that going to be pulled back by a pit call. Not sure about that one.
This offense was really, really good, really patient, just taking open options every time until you get to this kind of position, and that really good inside backhand.
Not sure how I feel about that one, Sean.
I don't like that call, to be honest, and it's been retracted. I think that's a good outcome. A good outcome. I think it looked like Lily Morris was impeded, but even with her not being impeded, I think there's just no chance she's getting close to that. I think it's a good discussion and a good resolution. Well done all round. But yeah, really good offensive point for E-Spot there. Really good early in the point where we were getting people free in this dump space, and then they kind of slowed down slightly and were able to keep churning out those yards until they got out to that nice break side IO and work it down from there. That was a really good point. East Block looking strong so far. Not many turnovers so far.
Absolutely. They've
it's been clean for a good 4 or 5 points here. I don't know.
It's been clean for the points. I'm not sure exactly how many of them, because we don't have any stats keepers on our side of the field today. But certainly much better stuff. Looking at the ominous clouds far left of our camera view. The current wind conditions are pushing the clouds away from us. So near side to far side of the field, that is the direct travel. We do have a nice ominous weather system sat directly behind the field site.
I didn't see that. Okay.
Oh yeah. If you turn around and look under the pavilion edges, it's quite the cloud for us. But at the moment, this is some nice trading from these two sides. Oldfield in the underneath, seeing a bit of a change of personnel for that first look for the O-line. Wedge, far side. Kantorovic coming in. The switch is good, but not able to come up with it. Perhaps the pressure there, but Saskia Kantorovic going a little bit too high.
Yeah, tried to attack it too early. It was a nice throw. I think she keeps going. She's probably got it, but yeah, there was good pressure from the D, and that is more pressure from the East Block team, and they've finally that turn that they were looking for. So let's see how that D-line offense looks.
Absolutely. To getting the pressure on. Maslivakova getting us underway. Nice work on the break side. Can they follow it up? Not quite. Bristol adjusting well with person match. Lovely break side attack now. Deep shot available, but not quite the separation the thrower won. Playing the game of keep disc. Oh, but just thinks about the throw, making the catch. Just that lack of focus error. Randalls now. Looking for the around backhand, finds Link. Oh, see the way she sits back into that throw. The power in Carla Link's posterior.
Fitting it into a very small angle there is what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to move past, but it was a very, very small window to fit that into.
I'm not talking about anything else other than the sheer power and force to put that pivot so quick, so deep, and not to have the center of gravity fall back. The execution on that pivot was just beautiful.
It's very good. It was unfortunate spot, to be fair. It was a nice offense until there was an unfortunate drop, but this is it's a good throw. Carla Link, and then that is an excellent throw into a very small space. A really good catch as well from Laurel Piper. It's a tough one, reaching up in the air there.
Yeah, big snag from the number 22. It's been relatively quiet so far. Hailing from Chicago, Illinois. But it says the highlight of her playing career was beating pangolins on Universe at Worlds. Of course, that Singaporean club in Cincinnati. No one really expected that much big from. But took down some scalps. Certainly had a very early stage of success against Vienna's box.
Laurel Piper probably did not have a great journey over here because she was sitting next to me on the plane, and I'm a very nervous flyer, so she probably did not enjoy me being very jumpy.
Surprises me, Sean. You don't really strike me as a person that gets easily unsettled, but clearly we found your Achilles heel.
Yeah, I hate flying. Really don't like it.
So how do you feel being with this many planes?
Oh, that's
fine.
Behind us. Looking at them is fine. Being on them is the problem.
Oh, maybe we'll see if we can get you a little ride along. how to terrify Sean Colfer in 30 seconds or less. Violation on the field. Vavrova with disc in hand. And Esther Alcock applying the mark. One of many Frisbee siblings out the UK. Oh, it might be a bridge too far, and the layout is there, but unfortunately ground strip. Great bid from Jana Stolova.
It's a really fantastic layout, great form.
Just a bit too much Bosch on the outside of it. Hocking throwing nearly into traffic. Great reception from Alcock. Inside to Sang. To Hocking. Oh, it's a big launch. Trust and faith put into Izzy Collins. Goes up strong though and collects the goal. And that is at long last. I believe that's going to be half for Bristol.
Yeah, a really good break. Considering that the East Block offense was clean for several points in a row there, you'd think the D-line maybe was a little rusty, but it does not look like it. It was a really good throw and great grab in the air there from Collins. Really, really nice catch under some decent pressure as well. East Block offensive player was right there.
So that's going to wrap us up for the first half. Some nice recovery and play, putting together some nice offense from East Block. But at the moment, Bristol looking very much in charge and in control of this game. We'll see how it develops on the other side.
We are Hive Ultimate, a group of players and coaches from all over the world working together to progress the next generation of Ultimate strategy. We've helped top teams win world championships and new teams introduce the sport in a fun and inclusive way. Search for Hive Ultimate on YouTube to learn more about our cutting-edge strategies and to see analysis of world-class teams. To find out what Hive can do for your team, head over to our Patreon page where you can gain access to our exclusive drills and session plans and to join our worldwide community of coaches. Get ahead of the curve with Hive Ultimate.
We are a group of Ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and fund our work
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Enjoying the show? Show your support for the live stream and the people making the show. Buy a super chat or super sticker on YouTube directly. Select your donation and type your message to the world. And share. All donations go into directly funding new shows. Buy a super sticker or super chat now. Thank you.
We are Hive Ultimate, a group of players and coaches from all over the world working together to progress the next generation of Ultimate strategy. We've helped top teams win world championships and new teams introduce the sport in a fun and inclusive way. Search for Hive Ultimate on YouTube to learn more about our cutting-edge strategies and to see analysis of what...
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
Back in action with the second half of this women's pool play matchup. East Block of the Czech Republic versus Bristol, coming out on offense, trailing those two breaks. And the strip is going to be called. Lyndon Chang getting a little bit too hungry there for the block.
Yeah, it did look a little rappy. I think the arm just in the way as she was throwing it.
Looks like it's going to be contested. Or possibly contested. We've got a little flash of lightning behind. We are informed that the lightning is over 30 kilometres away, so play has not been called off yet. Hopefully the wind will continue pushing the weather systems far away from this airstrip in Caorle, Venice. Lipsy with a nice inside channel. Thinks about going for the secondary shot, but holsters. Hudsheva resets. Another inside flick, but that one's just going to bubble off the reaching arms of Christina Hlusta,
who'd had an excellent point up to that point. She's getting free all over the place.
Yeah, she's been asked a lot thus far in this game off by her team. Chang looking around. Great work on the pressure of the mark of foot hocking. Taylor. Oh, but a miscommunication with Roskowska. Can it be redeemed by Oldfield? Sorry, that's not Oldfield. Of course, that's Rona Binney. Trying to recognise players by their ponytail, Sean, never works well.
It's the same kind of height as well. I see the.
It's a similar build.
Yeah.
All right, we are, I believe, officially. We are calling this game off. It's now going to be a lightning-affected activity, so I believe
we are going inside.
Everybody is now going to go inside. So that is it, folks. We are going to pause our live stream. We will bring you action back as soon as we can because the lightning has now arrived within the radius of the field site. So, all right then, that's it for us for now, folks, but we will bring you the coverage of this one as soon as we can. We're going to put this one on ice.
Merci beaucoup.
ULTI.TV